It's not like I planned on ripping you off. Sorry.
How about we just let it go?
Oh, I didn't know that you were into that show. You. Yes, from Fringe.
You gonna keep me here? Kill me?
Tess, come on.
Then Robert, what do you want?
I want you to forget this ever happened.
Don't.
What now? Who now? It's a bomb? Deads are not making bombs. You have a resistance, maybe? An organization, a resistance inside? Shit. Free Boston? Yes, I was right. A resistance inside. Which is logical, you know, with a dictator like that.
They're shooting! They're shooting at us!
Underneath!
Ah, the Firefly, it's a resistance? No, I didn't think that it was the show. Come on.
Count slowly and clearly from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly and clearly. 1, 2, 7, 8. Fuck you.
Okay.
State your name slowly. Veronica. Same as yesterday. And the day before. And the day before. Hey, people are gonna come looking for me. People from Fedra, you hear me? Let me out or you're gonna pay, motherfuckers! I'm not supposed to be here!
Why are you here? Really, no one is explaining anything. And I love that.
If Tommy responded, we'd know.
When you're talking to the tower.
Every day. They gave me a message. They haven't seen her.
Tommy is
since.
outside?
That's it. It hasn't been that long.
It's been 3 weeks. It's never taken more than a day to respond.
I'm sure he's okay. It's the Cody Tower. Q-Bar 4, but I don't know exactly.
It's really interesting, all of that organization, you know, into this dictator, with the jobs, with the drugs, with the militaries, with that guy.
He's still not battery to someone else.
Nothing's lost. And shit like this is gonna happen. We go get our cards back. Or the battery.
I need the battery. Tess. Truck's no good without one. If I don't get to Tommy soon, he's gonna die out there.
Robert is terrified of you. So you march out of here, all Clint Eastwood is gonna get wind of it and skip. I need you to take a breath.
What are you so up to?
Don't know.
Well, where is he?
Don't know. Yet. We're gonna find out quietly. I'll make them as distracted as possible because tonight, every Firefly in Boston is gonna gather in this building and you're gonna leave QZ permanently. We're taking that random girl locked in that room west. And we're going to the radio tower and sing. Is this real? I believe it is.
She said herself, you know, that Fedra would be searching for her.
Whatever you need. Whatever it takes. We'll get her where she needs to go.
She needs or you want her to go?
Where I don't want anything. But if you're feeling lost,
Tell me to look for the line and I'll break your jaw.
It's what? It's a sect? You know, a religious cult.
well, it could cost us a couple of cards, but we got it.
You know, the soldier is said that
1, 2, 3, 4.
the other soldiers, they want to fight and stuff like that. Maybe they are looking for her, in fact.
Is it gonna happen? No.
What?
I won't tell anyone about any of this. I swear. Where are you gonna go? Back to Federal Military School? You that anxious to be a soldier? You think I chose that place? It's for orphans. They put you there.
Okay.
I did. Ellie. You my fucking mom or something? Like your mom? You're not. Why would terrorists dump with Fedra? Because it's where you'd be safest, and you were safe there until you decided to sneak out. Why would you let me go?
Where is your arm?
Purpose than any of us could have ever imagined. So we're
It's one of the rare things, you know, that I know about this story.
What
She can help to save them all. That's not right.
Yeah.
He's dead? How are you getting infected? If you have a scar, you know, and the bacteria is entering,
You smell that?
Gunpowder.
ouch.
Tess,
You both recognize gunpowder smell? Ah, the chronology was not okay. Okay.
Marlene?
You okay?
My knife.
What do you need a car battery for?
Not at her. Who hit me?
You just told him that she's important.
The reason you leave you, no offense, but Tommy's just one man. It's our business to know things.
To know things. You're the cause of it. You turned my own brother against me.
Ah, I joined you.
We were gonna move Ellie out of the zone tonight. No, we won't make it anywhere like this, not for a while anyway. So now I'm thinking, you're gonna do it. There's a team of fireflies waiting for her at the old state house. I know what's out there. We were going with an entire squadron for that very reason. And I know what you're both capable of. For better or worse.
How do you know?
What are they capable of?
You get me
Yes.
this, and they'll give you what you need. Not just a battery, the whole thing. Fueled up truck, guns, supplies, all of it. I swear.
The radio's a smuggling code, right? 60s song, they don't have anything new. 70s, they got new stuff. What's 80s? What are you doing?
killing time.
What am I supposed to do?
I'm sure you'll figure that out.
That's the beginning of a good relationship.
So what's the deal with you anyway? You some kind of bigwig's daughter or something?
Something like that. Oh, the radio came on when you were sleeping.
What? What was the song?
You kept saying, like, wake me up before you go.
Nah.
80s means trouble. Code broken. Holy shit, I'm actually outside.
Stay close and follow my lead.
Yeah.
You were a soldier also before. That's why maybe, you know, that's what she meant, maybe Marlene, by saying, I know what you're capable of. That's your guy?
You gotta be shitting me.
Nah.
Really, man?
Yep. I'm gonna buy the book.
Alright, what about 3/4?
And everything up for this run. And half off on all the bills.
She's gonna be red.
All off. Fucking mine. Fucking bitch.
To not be tested.
Whoa, whoa. We can fix this. Move. Move.
Yes, the guy who attacked your girl. Stop!
No, I'm not sick. No! I'm not sick. This is 3 weeks old. Nobody lasts more than a day. This is looking at up to you.
You know, I was talking to myself, into my mind. Okay, that's the first good episode. Like, I see a lot of good things. I'm surprised by how it's done. You know, for the story, I told you what I knew about it during the intro. I never played to this game. I never really searched for anything about this story and all. The only things that I knew is the fact that it was the end of the world. We would follow a guy and an orphan girl, and normally this orphan girl can help to save the world. Something like that. So clearly, all of what happened during this first episode, I didn't know a lot about it, about these other characters, what would happen to them and stuff like that. So I was surprised by some things, you know, but it's not what is surprising me the most, it's really how it was done. You know, the fact that we spent the first half of the episode with Sarah, his daughter, and we were really only with her. We were following her to the school, after that to buy that present gift, after that with the neighbors, after that, you know, when she's discovering for the first time what is happening with these deaths. Like, truly, in other shows and movies, we would have done all of that with the main character to discover how the main character discovered all of what was happening and all. Like, right there, it's almost like I want to know how he discovered that. Like, okay, he wants to see to take his brother, you know, into jail, but they discovered it in jail, they discovered it on the road. Like, you know, I can have a lot of questions for that. So that choice, you know, to be with the girl during all of the first half of the episode was interesting, even more with the fact that at the end of that first half of the episode, no more girl, you know, we spent half of this first episode with someone who already died. So, you know, these moments that we spent with her, she was sweet with her father, she was nice, you know, to buy this gift, she was taking care of him and all of that. So we could have got, you know, attached to her, to finally, you know, say goodbye to her middle of the episode. I'm surprised by it because it's not so usual. I'm not surprised by it because I knew that the two main characters, it's this guy and the orphan girl, so I was like, okay, so at some point that daughter, she needs to disappear. I had that little hope that maybe she would truly disappear and him, you know, his goal during all of the show, it would have been to search for her, but no, she truly died, just right there. I think that it's a good way to do it because it's putting already the viewer, the new viewer like me who doesn't know anything about the game, in the position like really everyone can get killed just like that. No one is gonna be safe, you know, not even the kids, not even the person that you think who is the main character. You know, it's really putting a context like that, which is interesting. For sure, it puts the context of the entire show with the deaths, with all of the world which was destroyed, you know, like that society and all which is destroyed and changed forever. So for sure it created that context, but I'm saying also that it created the context, I mean, the mood of the show, like really no one is gonna be safe, not even the main characters. We have to get used to it. So that was a surprise, but a good one. I don't know if it was like that, you know, into the game. Like, it wouldn't surprise me that really the first chapter of the game, maybe you're living it, you know, as Sarah and not as Joel. Like, it's more a surprise to do it into a movie or a show than to do it into a game. I saw 3 other moments like that, you know, into the first episode. 3 other moments, like, I can imagine that there are real adaptation of chapters of the game. I'm thinking about them, you know, when they were into that car during the first half of the episode trying to run away from these deaths. Like, I can imagine a sequence like that into the game. Tess and Joel, when they were into the walls, you know, trying to evolve into that building. Again, I can imagine that it's a part of the game. And at the end, right there, when they are trying to escape, you know, trying to get out, and they finally met that soldier, I can imagine also a sequence from the game like that, you know, like you can't move the thing if you're moving it, like things are happening. I can imagine something like that to the game. But again, I can just imagine it. I'm not sure that it's truly happening like that to the game. That, you can tell me that in the comments. I told you during the intro, don't tell me who is gonna die, what is happening, what is gonna happen, you know, if I was right or wrong with my questions during the episode. Don't tell me any spoilers about that. Please be careful with that. But about that, you know, about the comparison between one episode that I watched just right there and the game, how it was, that you can explain to me stuff about it, tell me informations like that. That, it's okay. So the second half of the episode, you know, it was about that new society, that military dictator. We have, really it's organized like that, with the jobs, with the drugs, with black market, with the resistance, the fireflies. I have questions about that organization, you know, the fact that they are obeying to orders, like, do we have a real leader behind it or not? We have different places, so maybe we have other big leaders, you know, in other places. I don't know. Right there, the girl, for sure, I want to know what is happening with her. What I understood after that first episode is the fact that she was infected a long time ago, and that's why, you know, the test is red, but she didn't transform. So there is something with her which is a change, you know, not something normal. What we know of her, so she's not named Veronica, she's named Ellie. She's an orphan. She was put into a military school since she was a baby, but she was put right there by Marlene, so by the resistance, because she wanted her to be safe. But she was infected 3 weeks ago, she said, Ellie. So it's only 3 weeks ago that the girl discovered that she's not like the other ones. But Marlene, you knew before that the girl was not like the other one, you know, that she was important and you should take care of her, put her somewhere safe. I don't understand that part, you know. Because also, Ellie, she was born after all of that happened. You know, her age right there. It was already the end of the world. So what? She was created, you know, into a lab. They made experiences on her as a baby into a lab. You decided to put her into that military school, okay, to keep her safe, but because you were against people who were doing that to her. And when that happened to Ellie, no, Ellie tried to run away from that military school. I think because she was afraid of being discovered, you know, now that the test is red, when she's taking it, she was afraid to be discovered, so she was afraid to be killed, something like that. And now you're supposed to take her to Fireflies out of Boston. Tommy, your brother, I mean Joel's brother, is out of Boston. How were you separated? What happened? No, he said that Marlene and the others, they convinced Tommy to join them. So okay. Tommy was inside and decided to join the Fireflies. So after that, he went out. You didn't have news about him since a long time, so that's why you want to go outside to have news about him, be sure that he's gonna be okay. Okay. Tess, I think that she was into the military with Joel. You know that veteran stickers? I was wondering if it was for Tommy or for Joel. I think that it was for Joel, or maybe for both of them. And Tess also was a soldier before. You know their way of functioning, the fact that Marlene said, I know what you're capable of, something about it. The fact that that guy into the black market, he was afraid of Joel. It's also a surprise the fact that we began all of this episode, I said it, the first scene, it was such a calm scene, like it was only a conversation between calm people. sharing a lot of information. It was a long scene, you know, a long first scene with no music at all. Like, it was a deliberate choice to begin like that. The first episode of the first season of your new show, a show which is expected since so long, which is supposed to be, you know, an action show and stuff like that. Again, I don't know if that scene is into the game, but it was really an interesting choice to begin, so it surprised me. But now if I think about this entire episode, okay, we had moments of action, but they were really short sequences, you know, these moments of action. Because the majority of this episode, it's really only discussions between characters. It's really a lot of slow moments, a lot of moments to put a context, you know, to the entire show, to this society, to all of what is happening, to the story also for sure, but also to the characters, you know, their attitudes and all. I'm thinking about Ellie, all of the scenes with Ellie, the relationships also between characters. Like, I really think that 90% of this first episode, it's really just to prepare stuff. You know, to prepare the story, to prepare the context, to prepare the characters, to prepare the relationships. Like, okay, we're giving you the basic stuff, you know, about this show, about what you're gonna have into this show. And 10% of this first episode, it's truly moments of action. Again, it's a surprise for me because I pictured that show as really more an action show, something like that, so I expected more action moments. I think that it's gonna come, but it means that the balance between the action moments and the discussion moments is gonna be more equal than what I thought, and it's great. I didn't notice, you know, musics, they were not that important. Like, we had a lot of silent moments. Now that I think about it, I think that the majority of the discussions between the characters, we have no music, you know, in the background. And it's only during the moments of action that maybe we had musics, but it was not, you know, an intense one, it was not an hard one. It was really just going with the action, and it was almost environment sounds, you know. Again, it's an interesting choice. It's making the thing, you know, really more realistic, more immersive also. And I think that it's maybe coming from the game. Maybe also, you know, to put the viewers, I mean the players, really into your game. Also, you're doing stuff like that without a lot of music, so you can play also with jump scares and stuff like that into a game. And I think that they applied it also with this first episode at least. Okay, it was cool, it was interesting. I think that I made the right decision, you know, by not posting this reaction video just like that, you know, by waiting for the second episode to be sure if I'm gonna really react to this show, so if I'm gonna post this reaction video and the reaction video of the second episode. Because for now, I see a lot of promising stuff, I see a lot of interesting stuff. For the story, okay, you know, and for the characters, okay, but it's really usual. I'm much more interested by how it's filmed and the choices, you know, made with the narration, you know, how they're gonna write things, how they're gonna describe situations. I'm much more interested by that at the end than by the story and the characters, because they are not cliches, but it's not the first time that we have a zombie situation, it's not the first time that we have a military dictator situation. Like, I saw that in other movies and other shows. Okay, right there it's different and it can be interesting, but for me what is really more promising, it's not really the story, it's more how they're gonna do it. Like, I can see with this first episode that some choices, you know, behind how it's written and how it's gonna be done, truly, you know, how it's gonna be filmed, offered, you know, to the viewers on screen, that for me is more interesting and promising than truly the story and the characters, which can be great, but for now I'm like, okay, you know, like, yes, why not? But yeah, I didn't know that we would have a Tommy, a Tess, a Marlene, like characters like that. I didn't know that they existed. I mean, they exist. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna post this video or not. Again, if you are seeing that on Patreon or on YouTube, it means that I decided to react to this show. I hope so. You know, I hope that the second episode is gonna confirm me that I can go for it, you know, that I can go for this new show. I hope that it was interesting for you to see my reactions and my thoughts to this first episode. Again, to see the reactions and the thoughts of someone who don't know anything, of someone who doesn't know anything about the game, about this story, who is really beginning this, all of that, you know, all of this show, I was gonna say as a virgin. You've got what I meant, you know, as really like, I can watch any show, any movie. I hope and I think, in fact, that it can be interesting to have that side, you know, to not just have someone excited and all because it's someone who loved so much the game and all. And I can totally understand that, you know, again, how I was when I began Is Dark Materials, how I am when I'm watching The Rings of Power, House of the Dragon or stuff like that. You know it, guys, if you're watching my reaction videos, so I can totally understand that excitement. But I also think that it's interesting to understand how someone who didn't read the books, or into that case, who didn't play the game, is seeing stuff. So no matter what, it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.
Next one, next one, next